Hello makers and makeresses, I'm Julian, and if you know me a little bit, you know I like toys. I love toys. I love the history of toys. I love the design of toys. I love old toys and new toys, and recently I watched a wonderful documentary series called The Toys That Made Us, about toys, the history, the anecdotes that went into making famous toys of the 70s and 80s. And interestingly, in this documentary series, one of the designers of the original figures for Star Wars used the term kitbashing in a context that I had never heard of before, which was the reshaping of action figures. As he described, in the beginning of the first Star Wars film, they didn't have enough time to sculpt all the figures from scratch, so in some cases what they did was using figures of other brands, other toys, and simply sculpting on top of them, sanding pieces off, replacing props and hands and heads, and just reshaping them, repainting them, and saving a lot of time in that way. So I went to my local toy store, which is sadly closing soon, but because it's closing soon, I could pick up one of these small scale 3 3/4 inch type action figures for only $2. And now I'm going to try to recreate this old process, reshaping this thing, repainting it, giving it new props, kind of making it into a new thing, and thereby making my very own action figure, my very own toy. Let's jump directly into it. Let's begin. I wonder why the world is not the same place anymore. I wonder why the world is not the same place anymore. I wonder why the world is not the same place anymore. I wonder. Then this bandolier, I think that's pretty clear if you would keep using that it's copied. And that's kind of the point of kitbashing a toy, that you can't figure out that you copied it. I wonder why the world is not the same place anymore. I wonder why the world is not the same place anymore. I wonder why the world is not the same place anymore. I wonder. The important part, of course, is when you're sculpting to let the joints untouched, because this is what you want to save. This is where you save the time and the money in the toy production, not having to re-engineer the parts, how they fit together, how they move. That's really the reason why you do this. definitely gonna repaint it. I don't like this kind of baby blue. It's too nice for me. I think I'm gonna go with something darker, or at least I'm gonna put more weathering on it, more details, more little silver or golden or kind of metally or rusty parts.